On average, the United States has been starting wars with other nations once every 10 years since its founding. And during this time, Iran hasn't started any. Foreign interest in Iran during the modern era began in the early 1900s with the Anglo-Persian Oil Company. The British Crown became dependent upon Iranian oil, and the people of the Middle East were subjected to a century of betrayals, strategic deception, and psychological operations. In 1921, Britain overthrew the Iranian government. During World War II, both Britain and the USSR invaded Iran to steal their oil. In 1953, Britain and the USA overthrew the Iranian government. After 9/11 was carried out by the USA and Israel, Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda were blamed, assets of Western intelligence agencies, and the foreign Zionists then began a campaign of mass murder in the region that has so far amassed a death count in the millions. And when Zionist forces occupied Iraq, the Iranians knew they were coming for them, and so they prepared accordingly. Less than 48 hours before the United States and Israel attacked Iran on February 28th, the United States had just concluded their most productive round of nuclear negotiations in years and had agreed to meet again in 4 days. The independent mediator announced that a peace deal was within reach and said Iran had agreed it would never have enough nuclear material to create a bomb. Iran had offered full IAEA access to its nuclear sites. Iran offered to downblend its highly enriched uranium stockpiles to the lowest possible level and convert them into irreversible fuel. Technical talks were scheduled for the following Monday in Vienna, and a fourth round of political negotiations was scheduled within the week. But 48 hours later, Trump and Israel launched an attack on Iran. The initial strikes included the nation's leader and 178 Iranian schoolgirls who were murdered by the U.S. with a double strike of Tomahawk missiles. The so-called Army, Navy, and Air Force that Trump brags about completely destroying were decoys meant to help waste U.S.-Israeli munitions. Iran has clearly been paying attention to the Zionist protocols of war and have developed a deterrent that secures their sovereignty. The real military is underground. A massive city of tunnels has been built beneath the entire country, with a stockpile of missiles to rain down daily for years. This underground city is well beyond the depth for U.S. and Israeli bunker busters, and it seems to have an endless amount of launch sites throughout the entire nation. Their weapon systems are all custom-made to defeat the Zionist war machine. Thousands of drones launched in swarms to overwhelm defense systems. Missiles with no fins upon re-entry, making it harder for radar to get a lock. Missiles that steer away from predicted flight paths to evade interceptors. Missiles that deploy several other warheads that evade interceptors. And hypersonic missiles fast enough to evade modern air defense systems. Iran is having so much success that on March 21st, they launched a single strike against Israel's nuclear facilities at Dimona and hit the target in an impressive show of force that sent a clear message. Iran can now target Israel's nukes at will. One of the most striking things about Iran's campaign has been their transparency. They have been announcing their actions and targets and following through to their word, which stands out in stark contrast to the US-Israeli method of war, deception and terror. Iran's real navy is underground as well, and designed specifically for this war. They have thousands of unmanned surface vehicles that operate as swarms and are equipped to take down any ship in the Gulf, no matter how massive. After decades of being exploited and playing nice, Iran has effectively nationalized the Strait of Hormuz, which has always been their home. Iran has been planning this since 2003. They have enough munitions for years and are continuing to produce more underground. The US and Israel, on the other hand, are already running out. Iran has made it clear they will not submit to the Zionist threat, and they will tank the world economy if they need to, which is well within their ability at any moment right now. Greg Reese reporting. The Reese Report is now fully funded by my Substack subscribers. Subscribe today and support my work at gregreese.substack.com.